Good afternoon, Mr. Toby.
Hi, good afternoon.
Nice to meet you,
Nice to meet you as well.
and thank you for taking your time to speak with us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, so I wanted to have a quick interview with you to ask who is Mr. Toby?
Right, my name is Tobe, obviously. Tobe Asikoko. Or most people call me Tobe. I'm a fashion designer. I write poems as well, so I'm a poet. I started off writing poems and then I stumbled into fashion. In 2014, I had finished masters in theatre arts from the University of Ibadan in Nigeria. And at the time I was a teacher, so I'll go to school to teach in the morning, finish by 2:30, and I would have lots of time. I was bored. And then I had a friend who I had met in church, and he was a fashion designer. He is a fashion designer because he still practices. And so we became friends, and often I would just go there to sit and chat with him. And from there I developed interest in sewing, and then I started sewing. And along the way I met several people who honed my skill in fashion. And when it was time for me to leave Nigeria and go to the UK, I was thinking, what will I go to the UK to do? So I thought, why don't I study fashion and then get a career out of it? And so I came to England, and in Tisa University I studied masters in design, of course with fashion focus. And while I was studying, this was in 2024, and whilst I was studying, I started an online radio station with the Tisa University radio station where I was talking about fashion.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then from there I went to Milan to do internship at the prestigious Ferrari fashion school in Milan. And that's it basically. And so when I finished university, I obviously wanted to get into the industry. And this is my first international fashion show. We just finished in Gambia. This is me just going into the industry and doing my thing.
Okay, so from there, what's your thought about European and African fashion as someone who lives in Nigeria?
Oh yeah, that's interesting. European and African fashion. I do not think that we have to be separating that. For me, I think fashion is fashion, really. I know that culture influences fashion. In Europe, the weather is hot and cold extremely, so it could be extremely cold and all of that. So it affects or influences the kind of fashion that happens there. But in Africa, it's basically predominantly hot. It also influences the kind of fashion that happens there. But on the whole, for me, I think that both European and African fashion is quite full of creativity and interesting, really. But because I'm African, I'll speak more about the African fashion scene. I come from Nigeria, and the Lagos Fashion Week that's just recently been concluded. We could see all of the designs that were showcased and how grown the Lagos Fashion Week itself has grown, how it's evolved for the past 15 years that it's been on. So yeah, and Nigeria, it's putting African fashion on the world map. And this is not to discredit other African countries which are doing amazingly well. Yeah.
Okay, what is your fashion collection about, and what's your design process?
You mean my fashion collection at the
Gambian International Fashion?
The collection is titled Travel and Movements. Unity and Movement, Unity and Movement, and is inspired by travel. I am of the school of thought that fashion should always talk about things. Fashion have conversations
Definitely
about what's going on in the world. And the world is, for me, increasingly fragmented. I wanted to talk about unity through my collection. And because I come from a country that is deep in tradition, I'm also inspired by my heritage and culture.
Okay.
And travel, for me, is what unifies the world. For example, I live in England. I traveled to the Gambia. All of that traveling influences unity, bringing together of people. So that was what inspired my collection. And the kola nut, my heritage. The kola nut is a symbol of unity in my Omunede culture. Omunede is in southern Nigeria, in Delta State. My design process, I start by observing my environment, observing nature. I follow the news, follow conversations, follow what's trending. And then I'll get to do research, get inspired, do research, do sketching, do designing, and then go on to eventually sew. And I sew myself. This collection, I produce them myself, by myself.
So, what's your Fashion Week Gambia experience? What have you experienced about the Gambian Fashion Week, International Gambia Fashion Week?
I had diverse experiences, from meeting models from different parts of the world to meeting designers from different parts of the world to seeing the organization of the Gambia Fashion Week itself, which I think is very highly organized.
Okay.
Was very highly organized. So experiencing the Gambian culture itself. I was often around Senegambia. The hospitality, people are very hospitable. Food, I think Gambia has a lot of food. Commodore, yassa, etc.
Right.
I think they're very nice delicacies.
You have tried them?
Yeah, I tried yassa. I didn't try Commodore, but I tried
Okay.
this. And then I tried oxtail soup, which was quite good.
Good, yeah.
Yeah. So my experience so far is, it was very creative, very energetic, very aspirational and inspirational, and very. It was quite inclusive and diverse, because we had designers all the way from the UK, from the Netherlands, from Italy, from Nigeria, from Ghana. We have models from Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, the Gambia, obviously. It was quite diverse and inclusive, and I liked it.
So how do you stay current with the latest fashion trends?
Right.
Especially in 2025.
That's not interesting. What I do is I just observe the world. I think that the real fashion really is not even on your own way. It's in the streets.
Street, right.
So I tend to observe a lot. Observe what people are wearing, what's going on. Often I'm on Instagram looking at what people are wearing. I look at some fashion magazines and fashion blogs to see what's going on there. So basically, yeah, that's how I stay true.
Okay, so when we come from that, how do you handle your feed? What's your version of your career as a fashion designer?
My career, what's like my vision?
Your vision, yeah.
Right. I'm in the middle of starting my brand in the UK. I've already begun the process of registering my company, my brand. I just want to put African fashion in the world map. But beyond that, because I do not even see myself as an African fashion designer, even if I come from Africa, I see myself as a designer. But because obviously I'm African, my collections might be influenced by where I'm coming from. But my vision really is to change the way fashion is perceived. Come up with beautiful garments, beautiful silhouettes, and all of that.
I love your outfit. Is it made by you? Or?
Yeah, this is one of the pieces I showcased at the Gambian International Fashion Show.
Wow! And for it and everything, what is it?
It's a leather jacket.
Okay.
And that has several kinds of pockets.
Okay.
And yeah, symmetrical and all that.
Okay, then from that, what's your favorite project you have worked on and why?
I don't think I have favorite projects because each project brings its own challenges.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was quite interesting working on my graduate collection because it stretched me a lot and I had to do things I had never done before, which for me is what equipped me to keep going on, keep being innovative and creative. So
how do you balance creativity with commercial in your design?
How do I balance
Balance it,
creativity?
yeah. How do you balance it?
Trying to make money off it.
Yeah.
Basically, it's to create things that's wearable.
Mm-hmm.
And there is every design has its own market, really. So I don't think that designs can be too crazy or not wearable. I think that each design or each collection has its own market, or every designer or every design house have their own market. So I try to be bold and innovative in my creation, but I also am aware that this has to be worn by people and this has to be bought by people. So I tend to balance it that way.
Okay, Mr. Tobe, thank you for coming on our show today here at Teledel TV. Nice to have you here today. We'll hope to see you next year for the International Gambian International Fashion Week, inshallah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
for having me. And I hope to be here next year for the Gambia International Fashion Week. It was good coming here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Tobe.